Matt Bressington's specialty, the signing center. And let's start off. We're going back to Hungary, back to the Enthroners. And Matt, you told me how to pronounce the last name of Theodore here. How do you say it again? I forgot already.
I believe he's going to have to correct me if I'm wrong. Theodore Chebezayov, the
There we
Hungarian,
go.
Austrian,
Theodore.
Russian receiver. He's got a
Chebezayov.
lot going on. He is a gem today. I talked about him on FIBO. Literally, I was like, he's going to come in. I don't know if they'll be able to get him in because I really thought both Austrian teams would be pushing for him, especially Vienna. He's a product of their illustrious academy system. He's big. He is 6'4", 220, and that's elite size for a receiver. He is a golden child. And honestly, me and you talked off air about how good their receiver core has become. They got Nandor Toth, who led the league in catches last year. You got Sirok, who's another good possession receiver. Now you have Fedor on the edge. That's a really nice shaping up receiver core. Elite size, elite length, great outside ability, and deep threat. He still needs development. He's not a polished receiver. He's still young. He's in his early 20s. Route running, like deep progressions and just footwork and release isn't perfect. He has all the physical gifts. He is a product of great academy, as we mentioned. He's going to be receiving a lot of attention from that coaching staff because he has such an amazingly high upside. I've been talking about Theodore for like 6 years, since he was like under 15 in the Vienna Vikings. Like, this has been so when you look back, you search him up, you see like 3 different eras of me reporting him. I have a valuation report from him before I started using my full name as
Really?
report.
See, man, you've been on it then.
Yeah, I'm everywhere, man. I'm people are like, oh, I don't know how you knew about him. And I'm like, it's me. Like, I know Frankfurt Galaxy disagree, obviously, but it's me.
No, Frankfurt Galaxy are not going to agree on this. So there we go. Big one for the Enthroners. And sticking with the Enthroners, our boy that we just talked to, Mike Badjo. All right. Mike's gone now, Matt. Mike's gone now. You can be honest. Give me a breakdown. You asked him to do a sort of evaluation of his game, a scouting report. Give me the Matt Bressington breakdown.
That's exactly why I asked for this. He is big, 6'3", 265 pounds, but that size allows him to play from 2 to a 9. And he said about electricity, right? I agree. He has real nice burst to close. That's one thing he's really good at. Get into the quarterback, get into the ball carrier within that 3 or 4 yards where he can just burst into him. It's a very particular skill that they need. Can mix up with his pass rush approach, right? He has a nice little rip move. He has a nice swim move. He has a nice club. He has a nice bag that's very developed because he is a North American vet. Big man strength. I don't have any combine numbers. I wish I would have asked him about combine numbers, but I forgot. I have doubts on bend. If he's coming as like a 9, maybe a 7, maybe not the most bend his knees and ankles, but I think given Hungary's tendency for interior big men, I think we're more likely to see him from like a 2 to a 5. So I don't think that bend is as important. I think that strength comes in more of a play. But I'm a big fan of Mike, and then that interview has just doubled my fandom of him as well.
I really liked him. Great energy. I think he's got the right mindset coming into the league. But we saw the Enthroners go 2 D linemen at A last year. They're doing it again. How do you feel about that?
I mean, it is something. It is something. I'm not entirely in agreement, but they've got a better coaching staff this year than they did last year, in my opinion. I do think Mike is a very talented player. Jabari is not as versatile. He's more of an edge. So this gives them more versatility. I do love Jabari Regan. I don't want to seem like I'm slandering him, but Mike's more versatile. He can play more positions on the defensive line. I think that DBs are better this year. I think the whole team just looks better. And maybe this is a year it pays off for the defensive line position.
Maybe. I don't know, Matt. The way you're talking right now, you're making me nervous for your Prague Lions out there in the East.
Yeah, never.
All right, let's move on from the East. Let's get to the Western Division. Paris Musketeers strengthen their offense and sign wide receiver Florian Larose. Matt, tell me about Florian Larose.
Florian Larose, honestly, he's been a guy that I've been a big fan of since he was at the Flash. He was a big thing, though. I'm hearing rumors of positional change. 6'3", 230. That's that receiver 230. Apparently, he's moving into tight end. He's got a very athletic frame. This would be the definition of an offensive mismatch if he can work out at tight end because he has great hands over the middle. He is primed for superstardom. There's a reason why Paris have put some amazing reels together with Florian as the forefront because he can be the next. I might be a little bit premature with this. I did call him last season the next anti-Mahonwu. He hasn't so far lived up to that because of his injury concerns. Hasn't broken up statistically. This year he needs to break out statistically. That's a big thing. I'm hearing from camp, he hasn't had the best start to camp from what I'm hearing. But I need to see him step up because this is the year he needs to elevate his ability to the superstar level that me and other people in the league think he can achieve.
Anthony Mahongu, that is some high expectations, some big shoes to fill. You really think he can be an impactful player on that level?
I think he has the potential to. He's got all the athletic ability. I mean, you look at him, he looks like a guy that should come out of a comic book. He has a similar size. He has great hands. He has not the same similar style, but he can catch over the middle and he could be a big player. But it's just these injury concerns. And Mahonwu was doing it for years before he had injury concerns. And Larose, I think, is in his mid-20s. So he needs to step up now before it's too late. That's a big...
I was going to say, how old is he? If he's in his mid-20s, all right, it's time. I mean, you're hitting your prime right now. You're in your mid-20s. I'd give him a little bit more leeway if he was 21, 22. Exactly. But let's go. Let's go ball out. All right. Sticking with the Paris Musketeers, Kevin Forz has also joined the squad. Matt, you got him here as a big frame, big French journeyman. Talk to me about Forz.
Exactly. So he's bounced around the ELF. He's been with Hamburg. He's been with Madrid. He was spent like a couple weeks in Heltavik. So he's never really had like a full home. He's been an all-star. He has been an all-star, but he's never been stable in a position. And I think Paris could be a good place for him to find that. 6'3", 215 pounds is great size for a safety. And he is more of that physical box player, good tackler, could provide some length in the nickel position as well if he's needed to. Paris has a lot of great safeties, some of which have not been announced yet, but they've got some incredibly good safeties. I do not think he has elite acceleration, so I don't think they'll be playing him as like a single high. Honestly, I doubt they'll be playing him high that much, maybe every now and then. But he is the kind of guy that you have him and Amir, maybe in a dime set or a nickel set, and you can just out coverage people while this great defensive line goes to work.
God, dude, I'm so curious about Paris, man. I'm so curious what this team does. They have so much potential. See if they can put it all together this year under Coach Del Rio. All right, moving on to the Munich Ravens, player that I really like, Kristoff Nitsmater, the Austrian DB, returns to the Bavarian squad. Dude, this kid, I like this kid a lot. And when I talk to some of the defensive coaches around the league, I mean, I know I talked to some of the surge ones, like, this guy, he is elite, and they would love to have him. Give me your breakdown on this young baller.
I absolutely love Nitz. Nitz is one of my favorite players in the league. You've summed it up well. I have an evaluation on him on my YouTube that I did a while back. I think I called it the C covers like 98% of the world and Nitslander covers the rest because he's just that guy. He is a top 3 EU corner.
I've lost Matt.
Oh, no. I've lost. There we go. You still hear me all right? Can you hear me all right, Lucas? Yeah, okay. I was going to carry on.
I can't hear you, Matt. I don't know. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I can't hear you.
I'm going to
All right, you know what? You read my lips. I'm going to leave real quick. I'm going to come right back.
Cool. All right, I'm going to give the evaluation report on Nitz. So Nitz is one of my favorite corners in the league. He's nasty on the line of scrimmage, extremely punchy hands. His ability to press elite receivers at a high level with that aggression, with that technique is top level. He's also a great tackler. A lot of players will try and, when he comes into that press, set screen.
Yes.
He's able to fight around those screens and fight into the ball carrier, tackle them well. I believe, Nick, that he is the top 3 European corner. I've got Dion. You might put Beard. You might put Nitz. You could put some other players in there as well, but
for me, Nitz is at the top, man. Also, he's so young.
Yeah, he is. He is young. And he's athletic, very, very athletic. Some people said about him maybe moving into safety. I want to see him stick at corner because he is locked down. And I think with Munich as well, they got Kentrell. He's a defensive-minded coach. He's been there for a couple of seasons now. He's elevated himself into that elite E competition. I'm super excited to see what he can do this year. He could be an all-star, like, first-team player, I think.
But he really could be. Bro, I called 2 or 3 of Munich's games, especially at the end of the year last year. They're big games, and my goodness, was I impressed with him. Also, just, when sometimes you see a guy, like, he'll make a tackle, and it's like, oh, he kind of barely made that tackle. He got the guy down, but he maybe got a little bit lucky just to the circumstances. This dude, the way this dude tackles is so forceful, so aggressive. It leaves no doubt. It's like, I mean, he's just an elite tackler, in my opinion. That's something that I love from a defensive player. And this guy having this mentality, a lot of that is a lot of being an elite tackler. Of course, there's the physical aspect of it, but the mentality, the lack of fear, just going for it. And man, this dude shoots like a rocket, and I love it. So, big fan of young Nits. So, there we have it, Matt. There's our signing center. And